Welcome to PPTV, and it's your boy, the Black Mamba. It's October the 10th, episode number 20, and we back with another week of fantasy football. Boy, I tell you, this year has been like trying to avoid the injury plague every week. So again, this week, not only do I have the misfortune of having a player to get hurt in the first quarter of his game, but I also had the misfortune of benching one of my top performers of the day, which caused me to lose this game. So it was partly my fault and just the injury bug. I can't get away from it. Every week there is someone who gets hurt or is out for the remainder of the season that, I can't put a lot of points on the board. The good thing about this league is there are 5 teams that are 1-4. So I'm still very much in the playoff hunt. So if I can get my act together, or if my team can get their act together, we can still make the playoffs. Still have about 8 or 9 games left before playoffs start. But with that said, let's jump right into pickups for this week. So if you're like me, or if your team is from week to week, you're trying to pick up players and piece things together, you're going for speculative plays. This week, the number one player out on the waiver that I think for running backs is Jeff Wilson Jr. Devon A-Chain, I think he got hurt this weekend, so he'll be out for a couple of weeks. This is a very productive run game that the Miami Dolphins have. Even if he doesn't get a whole lot of touches, it's probably you probably want to have a piece of that. So I would definitely go out and try to scoop him up this week. I think I'm not 100% sure if he's off of IR. I think he's supposed to be starting back to practice this week. But whenever he gets back on the field, I think he'll get guaranteed opportunities. And even if you don't want to play him this week, I think he has long-term upside. So Jeff Wilson would be the number one target. Or actually, he is my number one target that I plan to go out and pick up this week. Next would be Deontay Foreman with the Chicago Bears. He's been a healthy scratch the first 4 games of the season, but they've lost their running back staple with Khalil Herbert. He got hurt. Rashawn Johnson and Travis Homer, they all have been out. They're all out right now. Johnson may return this week, but I think Khalil Herbert, I think he's going to miss multiple games with an ankle injury. So Foreman would definitely be a good pickup if you need some help right now. And this next guy, if you saw my video last week in reference to running back pickups, he should be rostered on your team this week. It may be a little harder, just depending on where you are in the waiver wire, how much money you have to put out there. But Jaleel McLaughlin, I think he's going to be, even when Javonte Williams comes back, I think he's going to be in the offense quite a bit. He's going to have a set of plays that he'll be able to capitalize on. Last week he beat out Samaje Perine 9 carries to 6, and he was averaging 7.4 yards a carry. So with his speed, it's going to be hard to keep him off of the field. So I definitely would try to scoop him up if you haven't done that already. The next running back on my list would be Emari Demercado with the Arizona Cardinals. Last week, James Conner exited the game with an injury, and I think he's going to be out for a while. And Emari entered the game, and he ran for 45 yards with the touchdown. I think that this could be a worthy pickup. He has decent speed, and he's a pretty big back. So definitely, if you need some help in that category, go out and scoop him. The next guy I would target if you're in need would be KJ Osborne with Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, he got hurt. He hurt his hamstring, so he's on IR for at least 4 weeks. KJ would be a good pickup. And once Jefferson exited the game last week, he had 5 catches for 9 targets and 49 yards. He got a lot of volume. The yards per catch, there's a little bit left to be desired there, but at least you would get the volume if you need a receiver. So he would be a pickup. that I would go out and try to scoop. And the next guy, I think this guy probably has a little bit more upside, even with Anthony Richardson out, is Josh Downs with the wide receiver with the Indianapolis Colts. Check this out. Amongst rookies, he's ranked third in targets at 30, and he's third in catch rate at 77%. And he's also sixth in Pro Football Focus receiving grade. Last week, he led the team with 97 yards. So I think that he would be a good addition, has a lot of upside to picking him up if you're in need of a receiver. And last but not least, as I always do every week, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to pick the Chiefs up this week. But if there's a defense, if you're streaming defenses, these are a couple of defenses that you probably want to take a look at. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense, they held 4 out of 5 opponents to under 20 points or 20 points or less. Including that Buffalo game last week. Only Buffalo has more takeaways through week 5 than the Jaguars. So they will be, if you're in need of a defense this week, they're a good defense to pick up. Also, the Los Angeles Rams will be a good pickup this week. Arizona, they had a rough outing last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. They had 3 turnovers, which was more than double their turnovers for the year, and they also allowed 3 sacks. So the Los Angeles Rams would be a good pickup if you're in need of a defense. Also, I didn't name this guy, but if Jordan Mason is available, I would definitely go out and try to scoop him. He would be like just somebody to stash in case something happens to Christian McCaffrey. But as you can see, these teams with these offensive-friendly playbooks, you definitely want to have running backs and receivers from their teams. So I think Jordan Mason's would be a good pickup in case something happens to CMC. This week, I'm kind of light on pickups. I'm going to try to pick up either Jeff Wilson, Jordan Mason, and I'll try to scoop up the Chiefs defense. But I think my team is pretty set. I just need to start putting points on the board. I hope this brings value to you. I hope if you're in need of players that maybe some of these players that I named, you can go and do some research and be able to scoop them up on your team. But that's all I got, guys. I do have a public service announcement. Spike that like, comment, and subscribe. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba, out.